Thank you very much. Good morning. I've come to Munich to meet with friends and allies, to listen to experts and to show Spain's commitment to the multilateral order and the security of Eastern European nations. We Spaniards are far away from Russia, but we know quite well that Putin is a real threat, that the world is becoming more unstable, and that we Europeans must strengthen our defense capabilities to protect, of course, our freedom and way of life, but also to provide security guarantees to our international partners. We are also aware of this, that since I became Prime Minister, Spain has tripled its defense spending and has doubled the number of soldiers deployed in NATO missions. We need, of course, to ensure our sovereignty, our territorial integrity, and our security. But I strongly believe that nuclear rearmament is not the right way of doing it. And I am hardly the first one thinking that. 70 years ago, our parents and grandparents came to the conclusion that nuclear deterrence was a far too costly and a risky way of avoiding conflict between nations. Too costly because it demanded colossal public investments, and too dangerous because on several occasions technical or human errors came close to triggering a full-scale nuclear war between the West and the former Soviet Union, a war which would have brought humanity to the brink of extinction. After a few decades, our predecessors realized that the risks posed by nuclear deterrence far outweighed its contributions to peace. They realized that the system that requires zero mistakes and constant correction to avoid total destruction is not a guarantee, it is a gamble. President Ronald Reagan stated, and I quote, "A nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought," end of the quote. And John F. Kennedy said that, and I quote, "The weapons of war must be abolished before they abolish us," end of the quote. So this was not about left or right, it was about doing the right thing. This collective realization led to an international agreement to undertake a gradual, verifiable process of nuclear disarmament. Treaties were signed and nuclear arsenals were dramatically reduced. But now the tide is turning. Nuclear powers have forgotten the lessons of the past and they are expanding their nuclear arsenals once again. Together, they are spending more than $11 million every single hour on them. And experts estimate that the US alone will invest $946 billion in nukes over the next decade, enough to eradicate extreme global poverty. In my view, this is a mistake, a historical error that we cannot commit again, particularly not today, with artificial intelligence casting a shadow of uncertainty over the entire world. That is why I would like to humbly ask all these powerful nations, please stop nuclear rearmament. Sit down, negotiate, and sign a new START treaty to ensure continuity of the one that has just expired. As a non-nuclear country that has witnessed nuclear bombs accidentally being dropped on its territory back in 1966, I beg you, prevent the launch of a new arms race while it is possible. Humanity will be forever grateful if you do, and it will heavily judge you if you don't. We need to stop Putin. We need to strengthen our deterrence capabilities, but let us do it in a coordinated and targeted way that we can control. Let's build a true European army, not in 10 years, but now. Spain will join with all the resources that are needed. Let's strengthen our multilateral system, reforming and empowering those institutions that, despite their flaws, have succeeded in maintaining peace in the West for decades. And also, let's invest in the values of solidarity, empathy, and cooperation that have brought us this far. Because the rearmament that we most urgently need in the world is a moral one. Thank you.
I'd love to invite the rest of our